It was a tough day at the office Saturday for the RedHawks as the Irish overwhelmed Miami and South Bend. This week, the RedHawks host Bowling Green for Family Weekend. It's back to the MAC, and head coach Chuck Martin talks about both games next on RedHawk Football Weekly.
This is RedHawk Football Weekly. Brought to you by G&J Pepsi-Cola of Hamilton, refreshing Southwestern Ohio since 1939. By Koenig Equipment, found online at KoenigEquipment.com. By Marathon, fueling the American spirit. By Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly among friends. Steve Baker talks with Miami head football coach Chuck Martin after this on RedHawk Football Weekly.
It's true, fans are craving Dr. Pepper more than ever, so I've assembled a team. They're not exactly 5 stars, but they've got spirit. We'll be at tailgate, the cheap seats, love seats. If you're craving Dr. Pepper, we'll be there. We'll be everywhere! Me up there. And yes, we are taking walk-ons.
I'm in.
Doug Flutie? Flutie's in! Let's go, Dr. Pepper, hip! Here's a boys' medium.
That'll work.
Ever wonder what's in a beer? If it's a Bud Light, it's 4 essential ingredients: barley, rice, water, and hops. Here's to the beer you can always count on, brewed to be America's favorite light lager.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome in to RedHawk Football Weekly. I'm Steve Baker. I'll be joined by head coach Chuck Martin in just a moment. Miami on the road this past Saturday took it on the chin from the Irish of Notre Dame. 51-17 was the final. This week, it is Mid-American Conference play at home at Yager Stadium as the RedHawks will entertain the Falcons of Bowling Green State University, a family weekend battle beginning at 2:30 here in Oxford at Yager Stadium. Again, joining me is the head coach of the RedHawks, Chuck Martin. And Coach, you knew going into Saturday that you were going to be overmatched in positions, and it showed fairly early in that football game.
Yeah, obviously for their first drive, they went through us pretty quickly. and the story, like we talked earlier, was offensive line play at Notre Dame, big physical, and they've been playing really well and dominated our front seven, opened up huge holes in run game. Certainly did an incredible job of protecting Winbush in the pass game. Winbush had all day to throw the ball and kind of pick us apart at times. So a lot of difficult matchups up there. Our kids battled their tails off and did everything they could, but just bigger, stronger athletes on their side of the ball.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some of the guys that really matched up well, I guess, with the Irish all day long. You told me after the game there were, you could point to a dozen guys right after the game that really played and matched up with the Irish.
Yeah, no, there was obviously not enough. From the outgoing standpoint, but there was a number of kids on our team that played very well in that football game, and a great confidence booster for those kids to go in that venue, play some of the top 4 or 5-star players in the country, and not only we had guys that won most of the matchups, and then obviously we had kids that didn't win hardly any matchups. Yeah. So big confidence boost for the kids that play well, and a good lesson for the kids that didn't play as well to understand that there's a whole nother level out there.
It didn't take long for the Irish to score. On the second play from scrimmage, they score, make it 7-0, and the RedHawks then take the ball and look to go to work, and you go to work right away with Ryan Smith, the tight end. He is one of those guys that had a big day.
Yeah, Smitty played good all day, obviously. The grandson of a former Notre Dame Heisman Trophy winner and Johnny Latner, and Smitty was more than fired up to play in Notre Dame Stadium. Get off to a good start. They spun to cover 3, get a little play action, good read by Gus, get enough time, protection, good throw in the seam. And again, everything we did was under duress, so the plays you make, you're even more proud of because it's never easy. There's not a lot of room out there with the size and speed that Notre Dame has on defense.
Unfortunately, first turnover of the game happens a play later, and Greer Martini makes a great play on this ball.
Yeah, credit to him, but we got the ball. We're throwing the ball down, got a chance to get the ball down inside the 20. He sunk underneath James. Murph's wide open outside. We got to get the ball to Murph outside.
They score, and then you go to work on the next drive, and James Gardner, another one of those players, makes a big catch here.
Yeah, James had a nice day. Great job by Gus off the play action. Not a huge window here, obviously. Great throw and catch, and again, those are plays that are hard to make, as talented as Notre Dame is, and a great throw and catcher. Great job by James holding onto the football. Great throw by Gus.
3rd and 3 here, and again, you go to Ryan Smith on the quick hitter.
Yep, good job by Smitty getting inside his defender. Good read by Gus, reading it inside out, and the inside guy's open, as you'll see here. Smitty does a good job of getting inside. Gus gets the ball, and we keep the drive moving.
3rd and 10 from the 34 as you take a look one more time at this play to Ryan Smith. But the RedHawks 3rd and 4 from the 34. Nice job by Ragland to hang in there and find James Gardner.
Yeah, good protection. We had a little double move on outside. Got James one-on-one. Going to take a little more time. Our protection held up, gave Gus. Gus does a good job of hanging in there, like you said, but it's tough on the double move, as you'll see right there. We got our one-on-one matchup. Gus throws the ball in good space, and James does what James does. James catches the football.
14-7 at this point, and the RedHawks on their next possession would once again turn the ball over, and this time the pocket collapses on Gus.
Yeah, just bad decision making there. There's nothing there. The pocket collapses a little bit. He had plenty of time, plenty of room to throw the ball away, as you'll see. He didn't like what he saw downfield, and we can't run out there and fumble the ball and put our defense, who's already really in a tough situation.
Irish would score, make it 28-7, and this is one of the better plays of the day from the freshman Jalen Bester.
Yeah, great job by Bester. Gets hit on the 23 clean, breaks the tackle, turns on the Jets, turns the corner, and Notre Dame's got mostly too deep on their defense out there, who are really good players. As you see him getting hit right there and breaking a tackle, and then outrunning some people as he gets to the corner, picks up some nice blocks. And gets us good field position.
Great field position at the Miami 43 is where you start, and Kenny Young with the rush around right in.
Yeah, great job by Smitty, great job by Mayock outside blocking, great job by Kenny turning the corner. We got some really nice perimeter blocks. As you see Ryan Smith right there getting his head across, and Kenny showing his speed. It doesn't matter who he plays, he can get the corner on most anyone.
Your other running back, Alonzo Smith, out of the backfield with a 6-yard gain, gets you inside the 20.
Yeah, good little screen pass. 2nd and 6, gets us a first down on the 13-yard line. Good blocking up front. Good job by Rigg, the left tackle, getting up on the linebacker. Good job by Jared Murphy getting on the other linebacker. And good job by Smitty, Alonzo, finishing that run.
Getting the first down there, and then the second touchdown by James Gardner, again going to work on Watkins.
Yeah, good job again. James giving us space. If he gives us space, Gus usually will throw the ball in a good space. Good spot for him to go catch the ball, and you see this. Gives us enough room outside. Gus throws it away from the defender where only James can get in. James gets a touchdown, and we're on the board again.
35-14 would be the score then. The Irish would add 10 more late in the quarter, 45-14 at the half. But again, you saw some things that are promising there for your football team and the way they competed in that first half, but just a couple of mistakes really costly in that half.
Offensively, I was pretty pleased at halftime how we can move the ball. We had put together some really nice drives against a defense that hadn't really given up any drives all year against anyone. Georgia struggled to get to 20, and we've got 14, and we had other opportunities in the first half if we don't turn over to get more points on the board. Obviously, defensively, kind of is what it is at halftime. Right. I'm not necessarily upset. We got to try to play better in the second half, but we got beat up pretty good in the first half. Whether it be run or pass, we really didn't slow them down. So it wasn't like you're going in there and it's just one mistake or it's just one player. It's just anybody who was watching a game, we were overwhelmed with their size and strength and athleticism on the offense, and we had a hard time tackling them, obviously one-on-one in space. So it kind of was what it was. We knew we were going to try to play better in the second half, and I thought we did that.
Again, 45-14 is your halftime score. We'll come back and take a look at some of the second half, and a little bit later on the show, we will preview this Saturday's matchup, a 2:30 kickoff at Yager Stadium against the Falcons of Bowling Green State University. That's all straight ahead here on RedHawk Football Weekly. Stay with us.
You train, it twinges. You twist, it tears. For every way you move and every way it hurts, the orthopedics and sports medicine team at Mercy Health provides comprehensive expert care for bones, muscles, tendons, and joints. With more than 60 physicians and specialists and more therapists, athletic trainers, and conveniently located sports medicine facilities than any other system in Greater Cincinnati, Mercy Health helps you stay in motion. Call 844-9-GO-PLAY for same-day or next business day appointments.
The new celebration rules are in place, and Pepsi is all for it. So what's big man Joe Staley doing? He's celebrating a touchdown he didn't score. The sad truth is, the odds of a guy like Joe scoring a real touchdown are the same as 0. But it's fun to dream, isn't it? Even if those dreams are delusional. Hey, there's no I in impossible, Joe. There's 2. Shh.
This segment of Red Hawk Football Weekly is brought to you by Courtyard Marriott Hamilton, conveniently located just miles from Miami University.
Welcome back in to Red Hawk Football Weekly. Steve Baker with head coach Chuck Martin. And at the half, you mentioned the offensive line getting overwhelmed. What do you tell the guys at halftime? I mean, especially those guys that, up front, it's a tough road to hoe.
Yeah, you got to play harder. You got to play harder and lower and more technique. And if you have another level in, you got to bring it, because right now the first half was very difficult. So, and again, it wasn't Keem Allen held his own in there fine, and Doug Costin did. But at times we got moved around pretty good. Obviously, and there were some gaping holes, obviously, in the run game. And the Adams kid's a special back.
Right. We talked about having about a dozen guys, maybe more, really playing well. And you described it in your press conference. You had guys at different levels, all the way down to not getting any plays at all. I mean, as far as the way they played the football game, but a learning experience for all of the guys in this football game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's like I said, the score was obviously lopsided, particularly at halftime. But you look at, you watch Jared Murphy's game tape, and you watch James Gardner's game tape, and Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith and Jalen Bester, and after Gus settled in after the 2 turnovers and played within himself, he played a really good game. We had guys up front offensively that blocked one of the better D-lines around. They blocked him very well at times. So, and even defensively, even though we didn't slow him down, Brad Koenig played good. Like I said, Akeem played good. There's other guys that held their own against a formidable opponent. Then, like we said, there's a bunch of guys that got overwhelmed, and if they're tough enough and confident enough to learn from that and understand, hey, there's another level of college football out there, and I got to get stronger, faster, mentally tougher, physically tougher, I got to be smarter, I got to be quicker, that, hey, I played, like I said, there's kids that played good against Central Michigan that were overwhelmed against Notre Dame, and that's a good lesson. Like, hey, last week I thought I was a good player. This week, well, there's better players out there, and I've got to figure out how to get to that level.
You get the ball to start the second half, and as we go to the highlights of this second half, it starts out promising again when you find James Gardner for 33.
Yep, and again, one-on-one matchup outside, good throw and catch. Again, James gives us space. If he's in bounds when he's going after the ball, we usually got a completion. James got to work hard to hold his line and give us space, and when he does, like I said, Gus usually throws a pretty good ball, and James makes an outstanding catch there.
Great catch, gets his foot in bounds for the 33-yard gainer. That drive would end without any points, but on your second possession, you start to get points. Second and 8, Ragland finds, again, Ryan Smith.
Yeah, good read again, cover 2, and Smitty going down the middle. First drive, probably if the game was close, we probably would have kicked the field goal and got points. Again, 45-14, you're trying to get 7 points, and you know it's a long shot, but you're still competitive trying to get back in a game. People ask me, why didn't you kick the field goal? I'm like, I don't know, 45-21, you never know. We're trying to get back in the football game.
3rd and 9 here, and again, the tight end, this time Nate Becker.
Yeah, great job. Becker's playing better and better after he missed last year with the injury. He's really starting to get his confidence back, and he's running routes really good right here. This was an exceptional catch. Great read by Gus. Not a very good throw, very low throw, and Becker does a great job, then holds on and takes a hit.
Alonzo Smith on 2nd and 10. We'll take it for 8 yards here.
Yeah, very good run. Running through two of the better linebackers Notre Dame has. It's not like Notre Dame's put their bench guys in. They got their starters out there. We just went on a nice drive to start the half, and then we put together another nice drive on the second series, and Zoe showing that he's a pretty good football player right there.
Sam Sloman will come in with a 38-yard attempt, and it is good for the score. That makes it 45-17 at that point. Then the defense does its job a little bit here against Notre Dame. Heath Harding trying to get back there, and he makes a play on the ball.
Yeah, good job. And again, you can see their protection on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Winbush standing back there, no one around him. Heath makes a good break and breaks up the ball in the corner of the end zone.
And then Wimbush on 2nd down and 10 after you finish seeing this play. Again, on the run, will get the loss.
Yeah, good job, Phil, in taking away the dive. Good job by Josh Allen reading and finishing the play. Good job. I think Darius Thompson also got there.
Yeah.
Calcagno takes away the dive. We do a good job getting off the blocks, and Josh Allen and Darius finish the play for us. So
Josh seemed to be just about everywhere in the game. He's one of those guys, certainly. Miami's offense would take it into Irish territory once again. Alonzo Smith's best run of the day.
Yeah, really nice job up front, and that's a gaping hole, some of the holes that they were running through. again, our offense gaining more and more confidence. Again, you take away the 2 turnovers early, which you can't. Good teams don't turn the ball over, but great cut by Zoe, gaping hole, and then makes a secondary guy miss clean, north and south, and puts together a really nice run for us.
Again, Hall's one of the Irish with him for about 10 yards. He netted 27 there, and then Jalen Bester gets a chance.
Yeah, really nice job. Bounces off some guys. Again, another really good push inside. Jalen's just showing he's pretty darn quick. He's strong, but really good push up inside again. We got a couple nice double teams. Tight end doing a good job. Jalen presses it nice. Bounces off the back of Palmer's back there, and then presses it vertical. Loses his feet at the end, gets face mask a little bit at the end, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it does indeed. Again, 51-17 would be the final score, but you get a lot of takeaways, and we've talked about the guys that have played well and the lessons learned from this football game. Now it's on to the MAC and getting ready for Mid-American Conference play. You're asking your press conference today, how do you feel this team is right now? Obviously, the record not conducive or not what you wanted it to be, but how do you feel about your team going into MAC play again?
Obviously, we're excited. We're 1-0 in league play right now. Obviously, the Marshall game, the Cincinnati game, we had some self-inflicted wounds that cost us a chance to win those games in really hard-fought games that we felt like we played good enough to win. But you have to finish games on both sides of the ball. You can't turn the ball over. So biggest thing for us offensively is taking care of the football, you know. And if we take care of the football, we're going to have a chance to produce enough points to win games. If we take care of the football, we'll protect our defense and put them in good positions. We know we have a really good defense. We know they've played really good throughout the Notre Dame game. I know we didn't play great against Notre Dame, but we had played really good defense up to that point. Obviously, the opponents are going to be more like the first 4 weeks than last week. Then defensively, we got to take care of the little details of our positions. When we have been hurt defensively in certain situations, is when kids are trying to do too much and getting outside the framework of what we're trying to do defensively. When we stay within the framework, again, throughout the Notre Dame game, the first 4 weeks, we played really solid defense. We got playmakers over there. And then the last piece, just getting a little more healthy. We got beat up pretty good early in the year. Going into South Bend without a full hand, particularly no Junior McMullen, no Tony Reed. Not obviously, you already got an uphill mountain to climb, and it makes it a lot harder when you take away. So we'll have Tony back for sure this week. We don't know yet about Junior. He's pushing hard to try to get back, but getting 2 of our top defensive guys back will certainly help also.
Bowling Green is the opponent this Saturday, 2:30 kick at Yager Stadium. We'll come back and talk about the Falcons when we return here on RedHawk Football Weekly. Stay with us.
This segment of RedHawk Football Weekly has been brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott Hamilton, conveniently located just miles from Miami University.
The new celebration rules are in place, and Pepsi is all for it. So what's big man Joe Staley doing? He's celebrating a touchdown he didn't score. The sad truth is, the odds of a guy like Joe scoring a real touchdown are the same as 0. But it's fun to dream, isn't it? Even if those dreams are delusional. Hey, there's no I in impossible, Joe. There is, there's 2. Shh.
Keep twisting, keep stretching, keep bending, and chasing. For total and partial joint replacement to rehabilitation, the orthopedics and sports medicine team at Mercy Health provides comprehensive expert care for bones, muscles, tendons, and joints. With more than 60 physicians and specialists, more therapists, and conveniently located facilities than any other system in Greater Cincinnati, Mercy Health helps you stay in motion. Find your specialist at mercymovesyou.com.
Welcome back into RedHawk Football Weekly. Our final segment from Oxford as the RedHawks prepare to host the Falcons of Bowling Green State University this Saturday at Yager Stadium, a 2:30 kick. Joining me once again is the head coach of the RedHawks, Chuck Martin. And Coach, Bowling Green comes in at 0-5, and it's not really an 0-5 team. The records may say that, but this is a better team than we played a year ago.
Yeah, and they're in year 2 in their regime, like we talked in the press conference. I definitely have can relate to what they're going through. They last year putting in new systems, both sides of the ball. You could tell at times all the kids maybe weren't on the same page. Year two, like particularly defensively, they're playing so much sounder defense than they were a year ago. Not drastically different schemes, a little bit different, but for the most part, just kids getting comfortable with their systems, you can see, and way less mistakes on that side of the ball. And they have some big, strong athletes. They got a very good defensive front. They've got some really good linebackers. They got some athletic guys in the back end, and they're playing fundamentally a lot sounder. They're improving. I know the record doesn't show it, but I saw things year two that we were getting better at, and our record wasn't any better then. Offensively, they're up-tempo, drastically different than the old regime. They spread the field. They got electric athletes outside, as we saw a year ago. They got good running game. They got a quarterback that can really throw the ball, really run the ball. When they get going offensively with their up-tempo, they look really good, and then at times they'll shoot themselves in the foot, much like us year one and year two, and even part of year three where we were still stubbing our toe on our own. They'll sometimes make a mistake that gets them bogged down. So they're doing way more things efficiently this year. They've been in some close games. It'll be a very tough MAC contest as usual.
They came in. They'll come in 0-1 in conference play. They dropped their conference opener last week at home to Akron. You mentioned their running game. Josh Cleveland, a sophomore running back, in his second year, I think he needs 62 yards to get over 1,000. So a solid running back.
Yeah, no doubt. He's had a big year. He's an explosive player. They got explosive athletes. Like I said, if they could clean up their mistakes, they're going to be in every MAC game they play in and win their fair share. So they have a talented group. You can see it coming together. It's a process. Whenever you have a new staff and you bring a new staff and you totally change what you're doing, it's going to be a process. And you could see last year that at times they were pretty disjointed, and you couldn't always tell that the kids were actually knowing exactly what. And this year you watch them and it's a lot cleaner and a lot better football.
This is the second game for Miami in Mid-American Conference play, obviously coming in at 1-0. This team has been resilient all year long, and I'd ask the same question if you had beaten Notre Dame. How important is it to lock down and just focus on these final 7 games? Obviously now all Mid-American Conference. The goal obviously is to win the Mid-American Conference East Division and the championship. To lock down, get just focused on the MAC.
Well, the nice thing is once your non-conference schedule's over, which now it is, then you have nothing else to do but focus on league play and taking it 1 week at a time and trying to get to 2-0. We're 1-0. OU's 1-0. We're tied for first in our league. Right now, Akron's 1-0. We have a chance to get to 2-0 and stay tied for first. And we don't want to try to play catch-up like we did a year ago. We got 2 games down a year ago, and we fought back and got to tied for first. But we had to scramble to do that. So we know MAC games are tough. We know they're usually close. Every so often you get a blowout in the MAC, but you watch MAC football, there's a lot of close games. There's not a lot of difference between the talent levels of one MAC team to the next. It's just the way it is. It's about execution and focusing and finishing games. Obviously, we're excited about. We got 4 home games of the last 7, and we're in position to be a pretty good MAC football team. We've won 7 straight MAC games, and there's a time that we had a pretty lengthy MAC losing streak, which stemmed a few years. So we feel like we got a really solid MAC team. How we play the rest of the year is going to dictate how far we go as far as league play, but we're excited about the challenge.
We talked about Jalen Bester in the game that he had on Saturday. Really gives you another option back there with Mo and Leonard not back in the backfield.
Yeah, obviously you lose Maurice Thomas for a year. He's one of the most dynamic players in our league as far as big play ability. Showed it at Cincinnati. Caught a post route for 50 yards over the head. He's breaking runs out of the backfield, and then you lose him. So Bester probably was maybe in more position to kind of coming into this thing a little bit slowly. Now he's kind of got thrust into duty and obviously showed out very well at Notre Dame. A lot of people are talking about who's 18. Man, he really played well against a really good defense and really good special team. So we'll get him more and more involved and pick up some of the slack that Mo left. Hopefully we'll get Leonard back here in a few weeks. He's still a few weeks away, but we need him back, and they're helping out Zoe back there.
Coach, best of luck on Saturday against Falcons. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Head coach Chuck Martin joining us again. 2:30 is the kick time this Saturday at Yager Stadium. Myself, Terry Bridge, and Randy Hollowell will all be there and have the action for you on the Miami IMG Sports Network and the tune-in app beginning at 1:30. Thanks for watching this week's RedHawk Football Weekly.
This has been RedHawk Football Weekly, brought to you by G&J Pepsi-Cola of Hamilton, refreshing Southwestern Ohio since 1939. By Koenig Equipment, found online at KoenigEquipment.com. By Marathon, fueling the American spirit. By Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly among friends. RedHawk Football Weekly is an exclusive production of the Miami IMG Sports Network.
You train, it twinges. You twist, it tears. For every way you move and every way it hurts, the orthopedics and sports medicine team at Mercy Health provides comprehensive expert care for bones, muscles, tendons, and joints. With more than 60 physicians and specialists and more therapists, athletic trainers, and conveniently located sports medicine facilities than any other system in Greater Cincinnati, Mercy Health helps you stay in motion.
Call 844-9-GO-PLAY for same-day or next business day appointments.
There's people who care where I'm going, and good friends who welcome me home. So get up.